We begin tonight with an update on the storms that tore through southern Indiana overnight. According to the National Weather Service, at least 7 tornadoes touched down statewide. 2 were EF2s with peak winds of at least 115 miles per hour. There were also 4 EF1 tornadoes and 1 EF0. Luckily, we aren't seeing any reports of any injuries. That's the good news there. From severe storms to winter-like weather. The severe storms are out of here. They're moving out now. And as this front approaches, we're watching for falling temperatures. Rob says we're going to see the return of the 40s tomorrow morning. Some areas could even see snow. Yes, we said the S word, and you said it's possible depending on where you are.
It is possible. I think we're not worried about accumulation or anything like that. The ground temperatures are just too warm. And by the way, all of those numbers of tornadoes are going to be changing. They're going to be fluid. They're going to be preliminary because the Weather Service is still analyzing things. So let me talk about where we are right now. We do still have some rain coming down. Thankfully, we have not seen much of a flooding threat, although there's still a lot of ponding on the roadways, especially in southern Indiana. The radar is still active, and I think rain is going to stay in your forecast through tomorrow morning. Likely much of the day tomorrow will at least have rain or rain-snow chances in the forecast. Now, these numbers are going to vary a little bit. They're going to flip-flop back and forth. It's not that we necessarily are getting new data. It's that we have to analyze exactly, especially what happened into the southwestern part of the state, because while this EF2 damage was reported in Pike County, as that crossed the county line into Daviess County, we're looking at EF1 damage, but that likely was the same tornado, and we're going to be seeing that with several of these tornado paths here. Were they connected? Weather Service is saying yes, in some cases they do look like it, but they may have had access to certain damaged paths because of blocked roadways and things like that. Otherwise, we had a couple up into parts of northwest Indiana. There was the EF1 in Park County, and then another EF1 here in Brownstown. Still analyzing that data. Winds have calmed down. We're also seeing the temperatures holding in the 50s, but the colder air is not too far away, and it will be here by tomorrow. We're going to be stuck in the 40s for much of the day. Yes, there's that chance for rain and snow. We also have a chance for a warmer day in our forecast in the 7-day. I'll show you when coming up.
See you then. Thank you. Indiana's Democratic Party has a new leader tonight. Earlier today, the State Central Committee elected former Indiana State Senator Karen Tallian as the party's next chair. 13 News State House reporter Emily Longnecker was there.
The first order of business for Indiana's new Democratic Party chair, after she takes a few hours to rest following Saturday morning's close election, is to reach out to the people who didn't support her bid.
I am going to personally speak to all the people who didn't support me today and find out what they need.
During her time at the Indiana State House, former state senator Karen Tallian came to be known for her strong ties to labor. She hopes to focus on winning back working-class voters, strengthening what's become a more distant relationship in recent years between those voters and the Democratic Party.
I think we have a tremendous opportunity right now because of what is being blown up and chainsawed in Washington. I think people are not going to stand for that, and that we will have an opportunity to bring people back.
Part of the work to do that, says Tallian, will include holding town halls, possible weekly podcasts, and more voter outreach.
I think that one of the biggest things that we need to work on as a party, as a state, is getting people to the polls. I can't believe the abominable voter turnout. It astounds me that we go to war to make sure that we have the right to vote in a democracy, and then people don't show up. So I think that's what we need to do.
Tallian acknowledges there's a lot of work ahead in a predominantly red state where a Democrat hasn't been elected to a statewide office since 2012. In Indianapolis, Emily Longnecker, 13 News.
The Indiana Republican Party announced its leadership team yesterday. David Taylor is the party's new vice chair. Whitney Peterson will serve as secretary. She's currently the legislative liaison for the Indiana Prosecuting Attorneys Council. And Matt Hills is the new treasurer. He has served as a Washington Township Precinct committeeman since 2022 and ran for City County Council in 2023. This week at the State House, if you missed it, lawmakers debated topics ranging from property taxes to rape kit testing. You can watch our in-depth coverage of this year's legislative session on Crossroads Politics. That airs at 10 on Sunday mornings or on demand anytime on WTHR+. Today, dozens of teachers and community members gathered at Martin University for a special event. IPS co-hosted the Racial Equity and Inclusion Summit. This tackled topics including how micro-level policies can impact educational opportunities for students. It also offered ideas for creative, inclusive learning spaces. One teacher tells us this seminar is not only helping her become a better educator, it also helps her understand how government actions might impact her school.
The way that Senator Hundley broke things down for us and explained to us how tax dollars get moved and where they get moved to and where they go, that was extremely informative, as there's a lot of talk about Senate Bill 518, a lot of talk about how it's going to affect IPS and the other school systems within the state.
Now, several parents and students also stopped by today to listen to this year's speakers. Indy Comic Con is now underway, and as you might imagine, local comic book stores are seeing a boost in business. Our Marina Silva visited one today and shows us the history behind it all.
From Batman to Spider-Man to the Hulk, those are just some of the comics you will find at Hero House Comics in Fountain Square.
Comic books are kind of just, a tradition.
Mark Rittenhouse is the owner. He opened up shop 16 years ago.
Because I was unemployed.
Turning passion into a job.
I love comic books, and it's kind of been a passion of mine throughout my life.
On weekends like this one with Indy Comic Con in town, his business goes up.
We get a ton of spillover. Usually in the evening after they finished at the convention, they go looking for other places around town. So I tend to stay open late whenever there's a convention.
Rittenhouse says comic books continue to be a passion many enjoy.
They're not quite as popular as they were when, like, say, my parents were kids. It was kind of the thing for that generation, but it's kind of just become a part of pop culture and just something that people really enjoy. They can read a comic book and escape reality for a while.
An escape into a different kind of world. For a little while, at least. In Fountain Square, Marina Silva, 13 News.
All right, so if you missed it today, the final day of Indy Comic Con is tomorrow until 5 at the Convention Center downtown. Well, a delivery driver awarded $50 million after suing Starbucks. The lifelong damage he's now experiencing. Next.
And we're also still tracking some scattered showers, but that's going to be wrapping up. We'll be looking at some scattered snow showers mixed in with the rain for tomorrow. I'll talk about the big cool down on the way.
The Indiana Pacers were back on WTHR tonight, but a tough loss to a hot shooting Milwaukee Bucks team. We break it down. That's coming up on 13 Sports.